What if you could transform all of the self-doubt, those limiting beliefs that keep us stuck in thought circles? What if you could take those false expectations about what should be and finally transform them into self-confidence, that true elation, and therefore pursue and get unstuck to experience your greatest potential? Sounds like a lot, especially a lot to work through in 4 journal prompts, but that's exactly what I'm helping you do today. Just like my full founding experience member, she shared, I illuminated the various voices that have been seeking my attention rather than resist. I feel I heard what each had to say and feel I have more peace and clarity in my direction. Pretty sweet, right? That's what's possible for you in just 15 minutes, just 4 journal prompts, and I'm walking you through them today. Before we do so, wherever you're watching, hit the like button. That really helps so that more people can see this. And also there is an accompanying PDF for you to download these 4 journal prompts and you can see them as we walk through them together. So wherever you're watching, there should be a link to download this PDF with your 4 journal prompts. If not, head to yesandbymarin.com/blog and you can download your free PDF there. All right, before diving in, who am I? My name is Marin Lauka. I am the owner of Yes and I empower women to work through limiting beliefs and false expectations of what should be so they can align with their true desires and values and step into their greatest potential so they can make their positive impact and experience true fulfillment. Basically, get rid of the junk. Again, not by ignoring, not by suppressing, but by working through and transforming it so that you can show up unapologetically as who you really are and what you really care about and make your positive impact on our world that only you can make, which feels incredible once you get there. I have gotten there. I've seen so many of my clients get there. So many of my experience members are getting there now after a few months in the experience, and it is your time. Today, you can take one step. Let's dive right in. The first journal prompt is to name a doubt. We're starting with the doubt before transforming it. Makes sense. I want you to think of this doubt, bring it to the surface, articulate it, write it out, speak it out. Journal doesn't necessarily have to be pen and paper. Maybe you record it into a voice recorder into your phone. Then think, if a friend approached you with this doubt, how would you respond? What would you say to them? Just observe. Stay curious. Maybe tag that friend in this video and you can work through it together and see if what you would say to them would be helpful, or maybe they're having a similar doubt. Sometimes that happens. The second prompt is to list 5 other possibilities. 5 other possibilities, what else could be true, rather than that doubt that you proclaimed in the first prompt. So let's give some examples here of this doubt section. Let's say I am filming a video. Let's say I'm putting myself out there and I doubt that I'm going to look too young or not be taken seriously. Maybe I've had that in the past. If a friend approached me and said, I'm not going to do this thing because I'm too young and I'm not going to be taken seriously, I would say to him or her, I'd say, well, you don't know that for sure. I would probably just brainstorm with them, naturally go into that second prompt and say, well, what else could be true? My coaching is automatically coming out in me. To actually brainstorm what else could be true, well, it could be that someone who is my age or younger is really excited that someone who looks like them, who is similar to them, is speaking about these topics that are typically reserved for, in this limiting belief, older populations. It could be that I'm actually taken more seriously because how did she figure this out at such a young age? It could be that no one thinks of my age. They don't even think twice, which has definitely happened in a lot of my workshops. And I've worked with a lot of my coaches, obviously, through this limiting belief. And that's what we've kind of concluded. It doesn't matter. And let's think of one more just for fun. What else could be true? It could be true that I find a great kula online. Akula is a yoga term for a community who jives with my style, who really appreciates my approach, and who are very similar in nature to me. And so not only are other people maybe interested in what I'm talking about, but I become connected with others who are also in very similar circumstances, and we empower each other to grow and expand in bigger and greater ways. And none of that would have happened if I had followed that limiting belief, that doubt, that it was not going to be okay, that there was something wrong with what I was about to do. All right, there's prompt 1 and 2. If you are having an aha moment already, like this video, again, it really helps with the algorithm. And then prompt 3, think of a time you felt wildly confident. What were you doing, and what did that confidence feel like? Not only emotionally, but physically, and think about your surroundings. So really take yourself back to a time in your life where you felt so confident. And in the moment, potentially, you didn't even realize it, but in hindsight, you're thinking, wow, that was so bold of me. That was so brave of me. Or just reflecting back on that time in your life with fondness. Comment below. I would be really interested to hear what time this was or what it felt like for you. The fourth and final prompt is, what is one word, phrase, or image that would take you back to that experience? How can you build that? How can you take yourself back to that experience as part of your regular routine, if only for the next few days? So we're building this self-confidence not only in this moment, but reminding ourselves, now that we've done the work here, to return to it moving forward. So again, I'll give an example, this time of confidence. A time I felt wildly confident. Definitely on the dance stage. I grew up dancing, and in hindsight, it almost doesn't make sense. And maybe you resonate with this as well. I never thought twice about it. I had solos. I was up on stage alone. I had parts where I was the center of attention on the stage. I performed so many times in huge basketball arenas, on theater stages, at competitions, and I never doubted myself in those situations, even though it was challenging, even though we were being judged, literally scrutinized as we were there. I just felt in my element. So to answer the second part of that third prompt, what did it feel like? For me, it felt expansive. Definitely the most expansive that I think I've ever felt still to date is on the dance floor. I felt without a worry. I wasn't in my mind. I didn't have those not only limiting beliefs, but like any thoughts to hold me back or to keep me out of the present moment. I felt fully there. A word, phrase, or image, or something that might be able to bring me back to this moment, is something dance related. So I have a few new leotards in my closet because I'm getting back into it. Definitely it's time. And maybe if I hang one of those at the forefront of my closet, at the front, so that I can see it every time I go to change clothes, or right before bed, or right now, because I can see my closets. I can look at those leotards, and that reminds me of what confidence feels like, and to step more into that feeling. So of course, bring this back to you. What is a feeling and experience when you felt so confident, so wildly confident? And think of what it felt like. Again, not only the emotions, the feelings in your body, but think of the circumstances. Think of how you showed up, what your body was like, what your energy was like, maybe who was around you. And then think of how you can incorporate that. You can remind yourself of that in your day-to-day life for even just the next 24 or 48 hours. So there you go, 4 journal prompts. We start with 1 and 2 by addressing the self-doubt. Again, not eliminating it, not suppressing it. A common misbelief, is that the right word, in positive psychology is that positive psychology focuses solely on the positive, which makes sense, saying that it's named positive psychology. However, a more accurate description of what this field encompasses is well-being. And well-being absolutely includes both the positive and the negative experiences. Positive psychology and well-being is our opportunity and our ask, our aim to experience all of life, the doubt and the confidence. And so that's why today we have both elements at play. We start by addressing that doubt. We think of, okay, what would I tell a friend? We think of what else could be true. And then we shift into, when have I experienced confidence and how can I step more into that? I'm very interested to hear about your experience. I gave a few cues throughout the video. Give this a like, Comment below, especially a time that you felt very confident. I would love to hear that. And then also, again, reminder, if you want these in writing, these journal prompts, you can download the accompanying PDF that is available for you wherever you're listening, and definitely at yesandbymarin.com/blog. You can download this PDF that has the 4 journal prompts outlined for you in written form. If you want to take things a step further, if you want to not only do this in 4 journal prompts and not only do this today, but apply this into your life, so it's not just in this moment that you experience self-confidence, but you build this muscle just like you would a muscle at the gym, then I highly encourage you to check out the Yes and Experience. We take tips and practices just like these, and we apply them one step at a time, 1 week at a time, with one challenge focus each month. It is intentionally simple. It is all housed on my membership site, new this year, and you have a community to support you all the way through. So if you want to learn more about taking this to the next level and applying alignment tips, then head to yesandbymarin.com/experience. There's 3 membership tiers to choose from: self-study, community support, and one-on-one. And you can learn all about it, again, at yesandbymarin.com/experience. That is all from me today. Don't forget to download your PDF with today's journal prompts and subscribe on YouTube to learn more journal prompts, more tips and practices to align your life so that you can experience your greatest potential and that true fulfillment we are deeply longing for. I will see you next Tuesday, every Tuesday, for another weekly spark at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Thanks for tuning in.